The years-long war between President Trump and New York Attorney General Letitia James shows no sign of slowing down, as the president has enthusiastically endorsed James's Republican challenger, Saritha Komatireddy, to replace James as the next Attorney General of New York State. In a lengthy Truth Social post from Friday, the president wrote this, quote, "It is my great honor to endorse America First patriot Saritha Komatireddy, who is running to be the next Attorney General of the once wonderful state of New York." Her opponent, the totally corrupt, unlawful, and incompetent Letitia Peekaboo James, is considered by many to be the worst attorney general in our country, and she is a complete and total disaster. So we are pleased to welcome in candidate for New York Attorney General Saritha Komatireddy. Good to have you, Saritha, and congrats on that on that endorsement by President Trump. You actually were also nominated by President Trump to the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of New York back in 2020, and the president, it's clear he hopes that you can be the one to finally oust one of his most bitter, longtime political rivals, Letitia James. So how important is this endorsement by President Trump?
Well, thank you for having me today. I was honored to be nominated to be a federal judge back in 2020, and I'm honored to have the president's endorsement last week. Our message really is a message for all New Yorkers, regardless of politics. Our message is one about taking the politics out of the Attorney General's office and returning the focus to public safety. And that's something for Republicans, Democrats, and independents in New York. Everyone wants their kids to be safe, their communities to be safe, and New York to be safe.
Yeah, it's such an important priority, especially from what we heard from Letitia James on the campaign trail. There's been many issues there, and they charged Letitia James with selective enforcement for ignoring millions in alleged waste throughout New York City with city charities such as the West Harlem Development Corporation, while targeting political opponents like President Trump. She literally said on the campaign trail she was going to get Trump. So how would you clean up the AG office, and will New Yorkers get any sort of accountability in the near future?
That's right. Every day there's new revelations about how Letitia James has totally ignored the fraud and corruption right here in New York while she's been distracted with national politics. Well, my focus is cleaning up New York, holding criminals accountable, holding nonprofits accountable, and holding state agencies accountable. Did you know the Attorney General actually has a specific charities bureau and is the primary regulator of nonprofits in New York State? She has totally ignored that authority to clean up New York. I'm going to use it to make sure our homeless shelter nonprofits are actually helping the homeless instead of taking the money for themselves. Our community nonprofits are helping their communities instead of just their own pockets.
Yeah, and Letitia James, she joined 24 other Democrat attorneys general in suing to halt President Trump's new global tariffs. And James, she said on Twitter, quote, "No matter how the administration tries to justify it, the law and our Constitution are clear that the president can't enact tariffs whenever he wants. We sued to stop the federal administration's latest round of unlawful tariffs." So, Saritha, can state lawsuits really derail national trade policy? How do you see it if you were AG of New York State?
You know, if you want to be involved in national politics, you should run for Congress. What Letitia James is doing right now is she's using a lawsuit to get headlines and distract from the fact that the cost of living in New York has gone up under her watch. And she's responsible for that, because when crime goes up, when people steal cars, and car theft has doubled under Tish James, all of our insurance costs go up. When people steal from Medicaid fraud is ballooned under Tish James. All of our healthcare costs go up. And when we leave the homeless out on the streets, our counties are raising property taxes on regular New Yorkers to put people in hotels, because she is not actually dealing with the problem.
All right, Saritha Komatireddy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.